Hello, it's Rev Pipsa here. I'm just making a very quick video about in response to a conversation I had with someone the other day, a friend of mine from work, and he basically had looked at some of the videos I posted on YouTube, which I'd also put across on my Facebook page, which I'm going to do with this video, and uh, he took a little bit of offence. It wasn't unpleasant offence. It was he wanted to have a dialogue and stuff. Basically, he took offence where I'd labelled some groups, organisations, as being cults. Now, having been influenced by cult writings previously myself, I understand how offensive it can be for someone to come and say, you're in a cult, or the organisation you support is a cult, or the man you follow is a cult leader. And I understand how offensive it is, particularly if you're in what you believe to be the truth, and that the way you're following is the right way to follow, and that everyone should be part of your way, and you genuinely are trying to do good and make a positive difference to the world or people's lives, or for the God whom you believe you're worshipping. To have someone come and out and say it like that in a disrespectful way, I understand how offensive that is. Because people do use the word cult as a way of insulting someone. Um, so I asked him, what does the word cult mean to you? And he came up with some basically he came up with some characteristics. He didn't come up with a definition. And we get characteristics. It says, well, cults are people who are fanatical. They're fanatics. They follow man's way instead of God's way. And these sorts of statements, they're basically characteristics he was coming out with. Like I said, I wasn't able to enter into a discussion with him at the time. It was just wasn't able to happen. So I thought I'd place this video up on my YouTube channel and also on Facebook, because I think it's very important to really actually define what a cult is and what we mean when we say this organisation is a cult, this religious group is a cult group. I think it's important to say that because people blast this word cult around willy-nilly and don't actually know exactly what it means, and it's more characteristics of a cult they have in their mind rather than understanding the actual concept. So the definition I like to use is very common. You'll find in the writings of Dr. Walter Martin, who has, of course, was author of the book Kingdom of the Cults and Kingdom of the Occult, another book which I own of his. And he defines the word cult as this. This is, of course, a spiritual level when talking on religious issues. A cult is a group of people who are polarized around the teachings of an individual or an organization. I'll say that again. A cult is a group of people who are polarized around the teachings of an individual or an organization. That is what a cult is. Okay, they will follow a leader, or they will follow a group of people, and certainly on a spiritual level, on a biblical level, it's their interpretation of the Bible and where it fits in the field of the religion they are professing to follow, which the group of people follow, and how they interpret it is affected by the writings and the teachings of this individual, this charismatic individual, or of this particular group. And the word is interesting. The word cult itself is a Latin word. Well, it comes from a Latin word. And the word cult has a French origin, but the foundation word is cultus, which is Latin, and it means to worship. So any religious group religious organization, religious movement can be called a cult, because they worship, they practice cultus, to worship a deity, a philosophy, a person, a way of life. And so that is very true. I have to say, and it's unpopular, I have to say even atheism is a cult. Atheism has rules and regulations. It's got denominations. It's amazing. I've made a video about the bus slogans, and I'd even had about the bus slogans saying probably there is no God, and I did a comment on that, and I had lots of atheists coming back at me saying various comments and that sort of thing, making accusations against me as a Christian, but as a representative of the Church of Jesus Christ, etc. But I even had the atheists fighting about themselves, where they were saying, saying a person who believes this isn't a true atheist. Well, isn't an atheist someone who doesn't believe in God? And what's that about the difference between atheist and agnostic and such? And so it's and even they are they're religiously minded, and they're fanatical. I think some of the people with very strong views on the fact that there is no God. Well, they were fanatical about it. They were fanatical about Darwin's theory of evolution, even though there's some things a lot of Christian writers know about Darwin, which a lot of atheists don't know about his theory of evolution. And a lot of people quote Darwin's theory of evolution, and they say things that even modern day evolutionists have gone against, and they deny. Because the goalposts consistently change and stuff. So the word cult and a cult group is about a group of people polarized about the teachings of an individual or an organization or movement. Okay, so there are many other characteristics of cults which actually come out, and many of the people who you find, or the groups you find labeled in such books as The Kingdom of the Cults, they are polarized around the teachings of the denomination, and they do have many characteristics which show themselves in many different ways, and you'll always find these characteristics to some degree, of some level, within these organizations. So when I say cults and say someone's in a cult group, that's what I mean. That a person is part of an organization where the people are focusing on the teachings, the biblical interpretation of a society, an organization, or a group of individuals, or small or singular individual. That's what I'm referring to when I use the term cult.